One of them is old, the other is not. Let's pop in the tape and give it a shot. It's time for Retro Reactions with Drew and Bryan.
Welcome back.
Welcome. You're gone for so long.
Johnny Highwind says, y'all have changed the way I watch movies. I hope that doesn't mean that you've just stopped watching movies.
I think that's exactly what it means, actually.
Probably.
Never watching another movie again after this.
Yeah, it happens. This week, we were talking about Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School.
So excited.
Say that 5 times fast. That's a hard one. This is one of our newer pieces that we released, and you guys get to see this towards the end after we're done yapping about this movie. This movie came out in 1988. It's an amazing Scooby-Doo mystery, as they all are, right?
Of course.
Quick little synopsis. Scooby-Doo and Ghoul School is one of those weirdly wholesome, like late 80s Scooby specials where the gang, but minus the rest of the gang.
Not really the gang.
Not really the gang. They end up teaching gym class at a school, but the school is for the daughters of famous monsters. Makes sense, right?
Obviously.
So Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy-Doo get hired as teachers at Miss Grimwood's finishing school for ghouls. This is where the students are basically adorable mini versions of classic monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, etc. Instead of solving a mystery, they're trying to teach these ghouls teamwork, confidence, and how to not be evil. Things go very sideways when a group of villainous witches try to turn the ghouls into full-on evil monsters. The climax is basically a magical showdown where the ghouls choose friendship over their villainy.
Of course.
And volleyball somehow matters way more than it should.
That is very true. There's
so
a
weird.
very big subplot for a volleyball game that you don't exactly ever get away from.
Yeah. It was almost like they were like, it was like somebody was getting served. But instead of dancing, they were just like, we're playing volleyball and it's going down.
So this is a very unique movie in the terms of it is a Shaggy and Scooby and not a Mystery Inc. movie. So
True, yeah.
There is some very fun facts. This is one of my very special interests. I love Scooby-Doo. But this is a red shirt Shaggy movie, which means that it is going to inherently be more family friendly, less mystery inclined, and you're only going to see Shaggy and Scooby. Mm-hmm. So you don't get the rest of the gang. So it's like their own little subplot.
Yeah, you've got no Fred.
No Fred.
You got no Daphne.
Mm-mm.
And no Velma, which is
You just
disappointing
have
for me.
Shaggy and Scooby trying to figure things out.
And Scrappy-Doo.
You do have
We got
Scrappy-Doo in there.
Scrappy-Doo, which I'm happy that it's a Scrappy-Doo era.
You know what?
I've
Not
always
a lot
loved
of people
Scrappy-Doo.
were.
Really?
Yeah, so this movie specifically is one of the Scooby-Doo movies where they do not market that Scrappy is in the movie. So
Really?
You'll notice the cover above our heads. This is the cover of the movie that you would have got on like DVD or VHS.
Yeah.
And it has no Scrappy in it. And if you had flipped it over to the back where the description is, there is no mention of Scrappy. And at the time, it's because Scrappy-Doo was so not liked. People did not like him so badly that they were going to just not release the movie.
Really?
And they were like, well, we've already made it. We kind of need to release the movie, so we're just not going to say Scrappy's in it. We're just going to just not say Scrappy's here.
Why was Scrappy-Doo not
So
loved by everybody? I don't get it.
there's a handful of reasons if you dig around on the internet, but a lot of people just found Scrappy really annoying.
Huh.
So he just wasn't well received by fans. So that's why he goes in and out of the series so much.
Interesting.
That's why he's like never really like a total plot line for them.
Yeah.
He did have his own spin-off, the Scrappy-Doo show. It was also not well received. So, which is really upsetting because I didn't dislike Scrappy. He wasn't my favorite character. Like Shaggy and Scooby were my favorites, but like Scrappy was a cute little sidekick in my opinion.
Yeah. And I feel like he was supposed to be like that, like kind of like annoying little brother or little cousin or something type character. I don't know.
So he is Scooby's
thought it was
cousin.
cutie.
He's Scooby's nephew.
Yeah, there we go.
And like everyone makes jokes that like it's blatant that like the cast doesn't like him. There's like online discourse about whether like Daphne, Fred, Velma, and Scooby actually like Scrappy.
Really?
And people think that they don't like Scrappy, that Scrappy's annoying. And I think this is people projecting onto an animated character. Let me throw that out there. Scrappy was a puppy. What do puppies do? Puppies yap and they run around and they act crazy. And he's a puppy.
True.
You know, Scooby's an adult dog. So Anyways, a lot of discourse about Scrappy. Really unfortunate on that end. So you'll notice that he's not in the photo above us, but he is in the movie, and he is very cute in the movie, in my opinion.
I agree.
This is one of the least annoying Scrappy films, if you ask me. He's not really in it a lot. I think it's because they thought about not putting him in it at all.
When I look at this cover, I'm like, okay, I see Shaggy, I see
Right.
Scooby, and then
Right.
underneath him is something else. But I've also had to crop this image to fit this thing. And just that little head right there, it kind of looks like Flounder from The Little Mermaid. And that's what it reminds me of. And I was like, why is Flounder? Was that his name, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, why is
Why are
he
we
in
in
this
the
movie?
sea?
This is interesting. Okay.
So down
Well, yeah,
below
sure,
are
it's not-
some of the ghouls from the school.
That makes more sense.
So that's the daughter of Frankenstein with the hair in the corner. And then the one that's like above my head, I think is the mummy little girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see it now.
I don't remember what her name is ever. I don't know why. She just doesn't have a name that makes sense.
The
for
mummy?
her. Yeah.
Tanis. Tanis is the name.
Tanis. It's just, that's not a mummy name. I don't know.
It's not.
It just doesn't feel like a mummy to me.
Yeah. I don't know what a good mummy name is, but that's not it.
Right? But I found this really interesting that on the cover we have a green shirt Shaggy, which is his like iconic traditional shirt. But the entirety of the movie we have a red shirt Shaggy, which is very misleading if you ask me. We also on the cover have this like weird cauldron scene. We don't have a single cauldron scene in this movie.
We don't.
There's not a single time that we're like whipping out a cauldron.
No, we were prepared for witchcraft and spells and potions and heavily disappointed.
Didn't get a single bit of that. There was a witch, but like we didn't really. She was just a bad guy.
Yeah.
She wasn't casting spells.
Nope. Not that we were knowing of.
This one was very fun though. So it starts out with Shaggy going to be a gym coach, which my very first note when I started watching this movie was, why is Shaggy a gym coach? Shaggy's the like least likely to be a gym coach I think I've ever seen out of the gang.
He's definitely the art teacher.
Yeah, like Fred would make a good gym coach.
Yeah, but Shaggy is like smoking doobies with you out behind the school before you go back into art class.
He's not asking you to run laps, which he does in this movie. It feels very off. It's very out of character, if you ask me.
You also have to wonder what administration is hiring him as a teacher. Like, were they just that hard up and they're like, we have no one. We don't even care if you have a degree right now. We just really need somebody to blow this whistle.
I think the school head just needed assistance because she was the only person there.
Yeah,
she was the only adult in the room. She was like, I just need someone to like run these kids in laps outside. Take them off my hands for an hour.
It's like, as long as he shows up, he's got the job.
Quite literally what happened. He showed up and she was like, you have a contract. You can't leave. Hold some hostage. So Shaggy starts like actually going through and trying to teach the girls how to do stuff, but he's freaked out because he's Shaggy and they're all monsters, and you know, monsters are the bad guys. Another fun fact about this is that red shirt Shaggy also indicates that the monsters are real and that they are not fake. So there's no needing to solve who is behind the mask.
Ooh, yeah.
So all of the ghouls are actual ghouls and their parents are ghouls as well, which we end up meeting later. And we realize that this Ghoul School is next to a military school.
Yes.
So that is who is challenging them to this volleyball game, are the next door neighbors. All of the ghouls at the school are girls, and the next door military academy is all boys. So it's a boys versus girls volleyball tournament. And that's its own movie plot right there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then about, I think like halfway through the movie, we get cued in that there is a villain that is actively going against the Ghoul School and trying to shut them down and kidnap all the girls. Yeah, she's the evil witch, and she wants to like turn them into her little minions. Which
is smart because they're already like, you know, they're already susceptible to brainwashing.
Exactly.
You know,
they're already in this academy.
Yeah, it's a good recruitment technique, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
So they play the volleyball game. It's very adorable. The girls win. And then the evil witch is trying to get them. And the boys are like kind of upset that the girls won. And they're trying to get some revenge. And they're like, actually, we have to save the girls. They're in danger. Which I think is the whole reason we have this volleyball subplot in the first place. That and that this is for literal children. They even put commercial break fade in, fade outs throughout the entire movie.
Yes.
Every 15 minutes we had a fade in and a fade out.
I still think the volleyball thing was just a very weird addition to this movie.
So random.
Yeah, just completely random.
Came out of
You're
nowhere.
just watching and you're like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, they're going to do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, now there's going to be a volleyball battle to decide this.
Showdown on the
What?
court.
And in the 80s, I can't say that volleyball was like super popular that I remember.
I don't remember it being
So,
the sport.
Yeah, like I still think that was kind of like a good basketball era. You know, like you had the Chicago Bulls really coming into their own around that time. And like, I don't know. It's just odd. Super, super odd.
It was such a random like game for them to play as well. Also because they did no like gym teacher training for volleyball. They did like ballet.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, yeah, we're gonna do ballet and then we're gonna go play volleyball. Hopefully that's enough training.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
None.
I can't wrap my head around it at least. Let's see, what else did I have down? Oh, do you remember Matches, the little dragon? Oh my God, he was my
Yes. The cutest thing
favorite.
in
He
the
was my
movie.
favorite when I was a kid. He's my favorite now
Yeah.
still. I loved his little garbly that he had going on the whole
It
time.
was adorable.
Oh, he was precious. Scooby-Doo and Top Gun loved volleyball scenes. I think you're right about that one.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to agree.
I really wish this movie had a mystery. I like it more when they solve something. This movie was just like, let's do monster daycare instead.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, that's weird. Is this Muppet Babies or is this Scooby-Doo? You know? And they did crossover things in the 80s too. Like we had like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, which was incredible.
So good.
But this one, I don't know. I mean, it's still good. I'm not going to hate on it for not being good because it's still Scooby-Doo and it's
interesting because like
cute.
it's not a Mystery Incorporated Scooby-Doo movie, so like we don't get the whole gang, we don't get the full mystery. Any of the Mystery Incorporated movies are more focused on the actual mystery than like just the Shaggy and Scooby movies. So like while it kind of makes sense for like the canon of it all, I guess it didn't feel like a real Scooby movie. We didn't solve anything. Like Shaggy and Scooby just ran around in danger for an hour and a half. That's all. That's all they had going on. It was very interesting. I was digging around online trying to like find fun facts about the movie because it's been out since the 80s. I would think there's a few fun facts about the behind the scenes. Next to nothing, but I did find that Mattel, the doll company, did credit Scooby-Doo's Ghoul School for their inspiration behind the Monster High dolls.
Monster High.
And I was watching it and I was like, it kind of like it's kind of the original Monster High, yeah. And they sure did credit it. They're like, it's one of our inspirations.
That's awesome.
We loved it.
This movie is way more about vibes than it is like plot.
1,000%.
You know, so
this is like meant for kids with the way that it bounces around. It's very like trying to hold your attention by giving you too many things to focus on.
yeah, so we can get to the commercial break and sell you toys.
Now, there was a point in time where Cartoon Network and Boomerang aired this movie once a month, every month for like 3 years.
Really?
Yep. It was this, and there was another one from about the same time, and they minimum played it once a month on the network.
That's hilarious. They
So-
must have got licensing rights like really cheap.
It was apparently very popular. People
Yeah.
really liked it. So
Well, this was the first time I had ever seen this movie or heard of it, to be honest, until we were naming our piece Ghoul School. And Drew found this and was like, can we please name a piece after Scooby-Doo?
please.
And I was like, of course we can name a piece after Scooby-Doo.
I've got to have an
now.
excuse to come talk about my interest.
Let's see, Johnny Highway. We got some comments here, and I forgot to talk about them. Let's see. He says that picture also kind of looks like when you're doing jewelry casting. You are absolutely right. That's exactly
Yes.
how it feels when I'm doing jewelry casting.
Mhm.
Scooby-Doo and Top Gun loved volleyballs. Absolutely, they did.
Yes.
And normal daycare is already full of monsters, which is 100% correct as well. So at least with these ones, like, you know what they're up to. You know that like the little vampire kid is going to try to bite your neck and suck your blood.
Just a little bit.
So these other kids, man, you just don't know what they're going to do.
No idea. They don't tell you anything. They just start biting.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gosh. Glad we don't work in daycares anymore. I will say this movie had a lot of fun little like creature features. They tried to hit like all of the creatures I think they could. They included spider bats, which I thought was terrifying as a child because why do spiders need wings?
They don't.
Why do we need to make spiders any scarier than they already are? All
I
good on
agree.
that one. But I did love that we got a cute little scene with all of the monster dads.
We did.
And it was all the dads. We didn't see any moms. We just saw the dads. And they were so nice and supportive. And they were like dancing with their kids. They were having a good time. It was so cute.
Yeah. It was good to see fathers involved in their
Yeah.
kids, you know.
This was one of the first 80s movies with a positive father representation we've had, I think.
Yeah.
Got you with that one, huh?
You sure did. Yeah. That's hit hard. You have any other
Those were my
other
big
ones?
ones.
Cool.
Yeah. Sabella, the little Dracula's daughter, that was my girl. That was my girl growing up. That's my girl now. She was such a cutie. I love that she could turn into a bat. She was technically a day walker because she could be out in the sun. And she was also vegetarian, so she didn't eat people. She ate the color out of fruits.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. So, there's also a really fun scene in the opening of this movie where Shaggy actively looks at the opening credits and breaks the fourth wall. And that was a very fun one
So
to like
meta.
spot.
What if Shaggy is actually conscious and like trapped in these whatever. Scooby-Doo and
wonder
the
he's
Ghoul
terrified.
School. It's let's just wrap this up. It's not really a mystery. It's just a weird, cozy like 1980s fever dream about teaching monster kids how to not be terrible people and play volleyball, and somehow it kind of works.
Somehow it all works.
So now's the part where we stick our thumbs out like this. And we give our vote. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 thumbs up. You
Look
gotta
at
watch
that.
it. So
If you
the
haven't
thumbs don't
seen it, you
lie.
have to.
Yeah, you got to.